My name is Edwin, and I'm doing my psychology practicum here at All Smiles. And today I wanted to talk a bit about emotions, how they or why we experience them the way we do, and also a bit about why we experience emotion. So you could start off by saying that emotions are quite instinctual. It's a normal reaction we have to different situations, and they serve a purpose as well. For example, anger makes us protect our goals or remove what's stopping us from meeting them. Sadness makes us withdraw and avoid things that could be harmful to us. Um, and Fear, for example, makes us avoid or run away from things that can harm us. And these kind of basic emotions are often very instinctual for us. For example, if you see someone jumping out in front of you, you would probably get a fear response, um, and maybe try to run away or hide if someone is mugging you, for example. And but the thing is, this instinctual reaction of getting afraid and scared, um, that reaction is also present. For example, if it turns out that the person that jumped out is throwing a surprise party for you, then we instead feel joy and we engage with the situations. So the emotions we experience can differ, even though the first initial physical reaction is the same. And that's because emotion is partly this instinctual physical reaction, but also this more complex cognitive appraisal of the situations, meaning that we evaluate the situation. And there's also a theory about emotion forming that also includes, for example, our ability to cope with the situation in our appraisal of the emotion. So you could say you experience a situation, you get an instinctual reaction, and you also appraise how well will I be able to cope with this. Do I have the resources I need? Do I have the support I need? Have I experienced this before? And you then get an emotion after this appraisal. And this appraisal as well then gets reappraised and the whole thing goes back around. And what's good about knowing this is that how we do our first appraisal can play a big role in how the emotion will develop. For example, if you deem yourself unable to cope with an emotion, maybe because you feel that you don't have the social support needed to do this, or if it's a work-related thing, maybe you feel like you don't have enough time to meet the deadline you just got informed of. And in this situation, this feeling of being unable to cope will heighten the emotion you experience. And something that started off as some anxiety may increase to severe anxiety, or maybe even fear or sadness. But instead, if we in this initial appraisal deem ourselves able to cope, we may think that we do have the support we need from our co-workers, if you're going to take a workplace example, and that yes, the deadline is tough, but we have managed similar situations before, and we deem ourselves capable. This initial reaction of anxiety decreases instead, and we become more oriented towards solving the problem. So it can be good to think about what is your evaluations of different situations. Could you maybe look back and see if you have handled a similar situation in a good way before? Could you maybe think about the people close to you that you can turn to for help? And in some cases, if you feel you're unable to do these things, you may have to work a bit on finding different ways of regulating emotions in order to train yourself in being able to handle them and therefore feeling capable of coping with difficult situations. Thank you.